morning, friends. Myself, B. Kashinath, working as senior lecturer in electronics and communication engineering. Presently working at Government Polytechnic Sangareddy. I am going to teach the subject of electronic measuring instruments, which comes under third year, fifth semester, and the subject code is 18 EC 504, and it comes under the elective subject, and it is the first choice. So 18 EC 504 A E A, and it is of SBTET, State Board of Technical Education, Telangana's C18 curriculum. And the subject chapter which I am going to discuss today is digital instruments. This is the third chapter in the uh, electronic measuring instruments, and the subtopic is the accuracy of the frequency meter, accuracy as well as resolution of the frequency meter, which we are going to discuss today. So in the previous class we have measured specifications of the digital frequency meter we have covered. So on today's class we are going to cover out what is called accuracy of the frequency meter, how it will depends on various parameters, and what is resolution of the frequency meter. So accuracy, what is first of all what is accuracy? Accuracy is how perfectly we are measuring the frequency of the frequency meter. So uh, there should not be any miniature or slight difference uh, with what we are measuring the frequency. So it should be 100% accurate. So that is whatever the measurement we are taking, it should be 100% correct. There should not be any deviation from the expected result to the actual result. So the difference between the actual results to the expected theoretical results. So what is going to be taken and what is the outcome. So the difference between the theoretical result and practical result. So practically what we are measuring, theoretically what is there. So suppose if we are measuring 100 heads and the meter is giving 101 heads, so it is not correctly giving the data. So it is not correctly 100 heads, but it is giving 101 heads. It is we can call it as uh, plus plus 1% accurate, means it can go up to 101 or 99 heads, like that. So how perfectly we are measuring the expected data to the theoretical data, so that we are calling it as accuracy. So and this accuracy of the frequency meter mainly depends on the three factors. So first one is range selection. So due to this range selection, so whatever we are range while we are selecting the range, either we are selecting the smallest range or largest range, based on that we are getting some error in this accuracy. And second one is how we are specifying the accuracy, that is specifications of the accuracy. And third one is the reciprocal counting method. So these three are the uh, factors affecting the accuracy of the digital frequency meter. So accuracy is what, how how perfectly we are measuring the our frequency meters frequency. So first we are going into the range selection error. So in this one what we are doing is, for measurement of the lowest frequency ranges, for measurement of lowest frequency ranges, we have to go for the large number of cycles are to be measured by using this frequency meter. So for measuring the lowest frequency ranges, that is, if you want to measure the lowest frequency ranges, you have to go for the large number of cycles to be measured by using this frequency meter. So how it will do, we will demonstrate with one simple example how we are uh, getting this range selection error. So what we have to do for reducing the range selection error, we have to go for the that is for measurement of the lowest frequency ranges, we have to go for the measurement of large number of large number of cycles. And we have already knows the formula of digital frequency meter. The frequency of unknown input signal will be equal to the number of pulses counted divided by the time interval of the enable input of the AND gate. That is enable input between the enable and disable action of the another input of the AND gate. During that period we are counting the number of pulses. So f equal to n by t, f equal to n by t, where f is the frequency of the unknown input signal, n is the number of samples or number of pulses that are counted during the time period between the enable and disable action of the another input of the AND gate, that we have already known. So uh, by that you can also say that number of pulses counted will be equal to the frequency into time period, frequency into time period. So we will demonstrate this range selection error with the one example. So for measurement of the lowest frequency range, what we have to do, we have to count large number of cycles. so so example, you can write this example also. A digital frequency meter as a time base, digital frequency meter as a time base derived from the, so already we have in the block diagram we have what we are doing, the time base will be having the divided by decade counters, so that are from 1 microseconds to 1 second. By having 6 decade counters, you can use any of them to have a different time base for the enable input of the and another input enable input of the AND gate. So gate flip flop. So for that we are using the 1 megahertz clock generator and its frequency divided by the decade counters. So determine the measured frequency when input voltage is what, 1.512 kilohertz, sine wave is applied and the time base uses, in the first case we are using the 6 decade counters and in the second case we are using the 4 decade counters. So write down this question. So what we are doing, so we are generating the enabling input, one of the enabling input uh, time base by the 1 megahertz clock generator and its frequency is divided by the decade counters. First option is 6 decade counters and second option is 4 decade counters and the input frequency is 1.512 kilohertz. How we are measuring this 1.512 kilohertz, using the two different time bases, and how we are getting the range measurement error in these two cases we will see in this one. So in the first case we are using the 6 decade counters. So in the first case, from this one, so the time base is using 6 decade counters. So using this 6 decade counters, the time base frequency, so time base is generated from the 1 megahertz clock source. So the time base frequency by using this 6 decade counters, it will be 1 megahertz by 10 to the power of 6, because we are dividing by 10 10 10 like that 6 decades. So totally it will be 10 to the power of 6. So 1 megahertz by 10 to the power of 6, it will be equal to 1 hertz. So then the time period that we are applying to the another input of the enabling input of the gate flip flop will be that is going to the another input of the AND gate to count the duration of the clock pulses. So that will be 1 by 1 hertz, so it will be 1 second. So 1 hertz will be equal to 1 hertz in the frequency will be equal to time period of 1 second. So now from already we have discussed the digital frequency meter f equal to n by t. So now we are measuring the number of clock cycles, as we have already given in the question that frequency is 1.512 kilohertz that we are going to measure. Now the cycles counted, that as we are using the two cases, in first case 6 decade counters and the second case 4 decade counters. So this is case 1, so we are taking it as n1, so it will be equal to input frequency into this time period. So 1.512 kilohertz into 1 second, it is equal to either 1.512 kilohertz, or you can call it as 1512 cycles, or measured frequency is how much, 1.512 kilohertz. 1.512 kilohertz is the measured frequency. In the next case, that is B case, what we are going to do, we are using only 4 decade counters. We are using the 4 decade counters. So in this case the time base frequency is 4 decade counters, so we are dividing the input frequency by 10 to the power of 4. So time base frequency will be 1 megahertz by 10 to the power of 4, so that will be equal to 10 to the power of 6 divided by 10 to the power of 4, you are getting 10 square, that will be equal to 100 hertz. So if the frequency of the time base is 100 hertz, then the time period will be equal to 1 by 100 hertz, so it will be equal to uh, 10 milliseconds. 10 milliseconds it will be. So now we are calling cycles, in this case equal to n2 will be equal to 1.512 kilohertz into 10 milliseconds. 10 milliseconds will be equal to 10 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So from that you are getting 15 cycles. From that you are getting only 15 cycles. So now the measured frequency will be 0.015 kilohertz. 0.015 kilohertz. So from these two calculations, A and B, so in this one the measured frequency is 1.512 kilohertz in case of A. In case of B, what we is the measured frequency, 0.015 kilohertz. So from this we can infer that from the above example we can clearly say that the current measurement is happening in A case and the wrong measurement is happening in the case of B. So in the first measurement A case we are getting the 1.512 kilohertz, but in the second case we are getting only 0.015 kilohertz. So by using the A case we are using 6 decade counters, where in case of uh, second case we are using 4 decade counters. Means we are having we are counting 15-12 cycles in the first case, and in case of second we are counting only 15 cycles. So from the above example we can clearly say that the correct measurement is done when a large number of cycles are counted, that is when the lowest frequency range is used, that is longest counting time period is taken. So we are going for the longest counting time, that is happening when we are taking the 6 decade counters, then we are getting the correct measurement with the large number of cycles. So we can say that when we are having the 6 decade counters, then we are counting the large number of cycles, then we are getting the correct frequency. If you are going for the less decade counters, that is 4 decade counters, we are getting the time period of 10 milliseconds, so less number of cycles are counted. From this measured frequency will be 0.015 kilohertz, whereas actual measurement should be this one, 1.512 kilohertz, but it is giving only 0.015 kilohertz. So that last one part clearly say that the correct measurement is done when a large number of cycles are counted. For say that we can correct measurement is done when large number of cycles are counted. That is when the lowest frequency range, that is longest counting period is used. Next one is, so this is one is ranging. Next one is accuracy specifications, and second one is accuracy how we are specifying the accuracy in digital frequency meter. In some cases what happens is, some pulses may go through the AND gate that will not be recognized by the AND gate. So that is, some partial pulses that pass through the AND gate may or may not succeed in triggering the counting circuits. Means uh, due to the what happens is, the pulses which are not correctly having, so what happens is the partial pulses, some pulses which is having lowest amplitude or highest minimum amplitude that pass through the AND gate, that may or may not succeed in triggering the counting circuit, that may or may not trigger, so it will may or it may not succeed in triggering the counting circuit. So there is always a possibility of gating error of plus or minus one cycle in the count during the time period. So for that one what we are doing is, in some due to this partial pulses we are not triggering the AND gate. For some pulses we are taking assuming that there should be always a possible gating error of plus or minus one cycle, uh, in count during the time period. So this one count is defined as the least significant digit. So this one count is defined as the least significant digit plus or minus 1 LSD. We are calling it as plus or minus 1 LSD, least significant digit. This is due to what? As the frequency meter, the partial pulses that pass through the AND gate may or may not succeed in triggering the counting circuit. So there is always a possibility of the gating error of plus or minus one cycle count during the time period. So this one count is defined as the least significant digit. So and the accuracy of a digital frequency meter usually stated as this one, plus or minus 1 LSD, that is least significant digit, that is occurred due to the gating error, uh, plus or minus time base error. So we can also have the errors in the time base also. So time base, where time base error is actually coming from the time base, is actually generated from the crystal oscillator. So the crystal oscillator is continuously generating the time base frequency or time base time period. So this commonly caused errors in this time base generated by which crystal controlled oscillators. So crystal controlled oscillators continuously running. So these oscillators, crystal controlled oscillators, may prone to, what happens means the errors in this crystal controlled oscillator which are giving the time base may have variation in temperature. So when the temperature is varied, there will be variation of frequency generated by the crystal controlled oscillators. So we may have errors in the time base due to what? Crystal controlled oscillators. So in crystal controlled oscillators, what are the variations that will cause for the errors? Are first one is variation is the temperature. So operating conditions will be there for the crystal control oscillator. So that in that one, first one is variation in temperature and aging of the crystals. So after some years or after some days, what happens, crystals will be aged and it will not perform like a fresh crystals. So as they are performed on the present day, the crystals will not perform as it is as after 100 days or after 1 year or after 5 years, like that. And supply voltage changes. So and as well as the supply voltage will not be constant to the crystal oscillator, it will may vary. So due to this also we are getting the time base error. So the accuracy specifications will be complete when we are having this gate count error, that is plus or minus 1 least significant count, that we are specifying it as plus or minus 1 LSD, and plus or minus this time base errors, plus or minus 1 time base error. The time base error is coming from the crystal control oscillator, and this plus or minus 1 gate count is coming from the that partial pulses that may or may not go through the your gating circuits. So with reasonable precautions, but with reasonable precautions taken, this total time base error might be typically less than the 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6, or less than 1 part in 10 to the power of 6 spots. So it should be with taking the reasonable precautions, this total time base error may uh, can we can reduce up to 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6, that is 1 in less than 1 part in 10 to the power of 6 parts. The total measurement error depends on the actual frequency measured. So now the total measurement error depends on the actual frequency measured. So this is also again demonstrated with one example. So so you can draw and note down this example. So a frequency counter with an accuracy of, so accuracy specification plus or minus 1 LSD, so that is your gate count, and plus or minus 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So this one is 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6 is your time base error, is employed to measure the frequencies of first case 100 hertz, second case 1 megahertz, and the third case is 100 megahertz. 100 megahertz. Now calculate the percentage of measurement error in each case. Calculate the percentage measurement error in each case. So write down this question. So case A, that is at frequency of 100 hertz. So we are taking three frequencies, that is we are measuring 100 hertz, 1 megahertz, and 100 megahertz. During this, how the percentage of measurement error changes with accuracy specification of plus or minus 1 LSD, plus or minus 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So as in the case of first one, so at f equal to 100 hertz, so at case 1, at that is at we are going to measure the frequency of 100 hertz. What happens to our uh, this one? So in the problem, plus or minus 1 LSD, plus or minus whatever the input frequency into 10 to the power of minus 6 is employed. So here you see error is plus or minus 1 count plus, so first case frequency is measured frequency 100 hertz, so that is the input frequency into 10 to the power of minus 6. So then it will be equal to plus or minus 1 count plus 1 into 10 to the power of minus 4. So 1 into 10 to the power of minus 4, when it is compared to 1, so it will be almost 0.0001. So when it is compared to 1, it is very very low, and it can be discarded with respect to 1. So as it is 0.0001, so it can be neglected. So we can take at f equal to 100 hertz, error will be equal to only plus or minus 1 count. Error is only plus or minus 1 count. Why? Because 1 count is very much greater than 0.0001 count. So we are neglecting that point 0001 count. So we are having at f equal to 100 hertz, error is equal to plus or minus 1 count. So and the percentage of error will be plus or minus 1 by 100. So 100 is your input frequency, 1 by 100 into 100% of your 100 hertz. So plus or minus 1 by 100 into 100% of your input frequency, it will be equal to percentage of error in case of measuring the frequency of 100 hertz will be equal to plus or minus 1%, plus or minus 1%. So now we are going for the second case, f equal to 1 megahertz. So at f equal to 1 megahertz, now you can see that error is plus or minus 1 count is already there. Input frequency is 1 megahertz into 10 to the power of minus 6. So 1 megahertz means 10 to the power of 6. So 10 to the power of minus 6 into 10 to the power of plus 6. So it will be uh, numerator denominator will be cutted off. So you are getting the 1 count. So totally error will be 2 counts, plus or minus 2 counts. Now the percentage error, going for percentage, plus or minus 2 by input frequency of 1 megahertz into 100%. So now the error is plus or minus 2 into 10 to the power of minus 4 percentage. In the next third case, when f equal to 100 megahertz, error will be plus or minus 1 count in plus 100 megahertz into 10 to the power of minus 6. So 100 into 10 to the power of 6. So it will be 100 counts. So totally the error is plus or minus 101 counts. Plus or minus 101 counts. So error is increasing. As frequency is increasing, you can clearly say that at 100 megahertz, the error due to the time base is very less. At f equal to 1 megahertz, error due to time base is 1 count. At f equal to 100 megahertz, error due to the um, time base is 100 counts. You can clearly see from the counts. So here 1 megahertz you are having 1 count, at 100 megahertz you are having the time base error of 100 counts. So totally 2 counts, here 101 counts, but percentage error it is decreasing as the frequency is increasing. So percentage error is 101 by 100 megahertz into 100%, 0.01 into 10 to the power of minus 1 4%. So at a frequency of 100 hertz, that is at low frequencies, the error due to plus or minus 1 count is how much on it is plus or minus 1%, as we are neglecting the time base as it is very less. So while that due to the time base is insignificant. So at a frequency of low frequency, error due to plus or minus 1 count is how much, plus or minus 1%, while that due to the time base is neglected. And at 1 megahertz, error due to 1 count is equal to that due to the time base. So from previous calculations, we can see that at 1 megahertz, the error due to 1 count and time base both are equal, 1 count and 1 count. So at 1 megahertz, error due to the 1 count is similar to the time base error. So at 1 megahertz, error due to 1 count, error due to 1 count is equal to that due to the time base. And at 100 megahertz, the time base is responsible for an error of 100 counts. So from the previous one, you can see that due at 100 megahertz, the error due to time base is only 100 counts, whereas plus or minus 1 count. So it is 100 times more than your LSD. So at 100 megahertz, the time base is only responsible for an error of plus or minus 100 counts, although the total error is still very small percentage of the measured frequency from this calculation. So that is only 1.01 into 10 to the power of minus 4 percentage. So percentage error is reducing in case of high frequencies, percentage of error is very much less, but error due to the time base is very much high when we are increasing the frequency. But at low frequency only the percentage of error is very much high. So at low frequency the percentage of error is 1%, but at we are increasing the frequency, we are having the time base count is letting going, but the percentage of error is almost decreasing. In case of 1 megahertz we are going for high frequency, here the percentage error is plus or minus 2 into 10 to the power of minus 4, whereas in case of 100 megahertz, percentage of error is only 1.01 into 10 to the power of minus 4. So as the frequency is increasing, the error due to time base count is increasing, but the total percentage of error is decreasing. So always go for the high frequency measurements for accurate measurement of the accuracy. So the percentage of error due to plus or minus 1 count is greater than 1% at lower frequency, but at higher frequency time base error is larger than the plus or minus 1 count error, but at low frequency plus or minus 1 count error is larger than now 2. But at high frequencies the total error is very small percentage of the measured frequency. So as we are increasing the frequency, the total error is very small as compared to the measured frequency. So at low frequencies only, as we are ignoring the time base also, we can have the plus or minus 1% count, that is 1% of the error in measured frequency. So there is a law while comparing with the high frequencies. At low frequency we are having the high deviation from the expected result or measured frequency, that is almost 1%. So we have to reduce this 1% due to this one count to less. So for that one we are going for the another technique. So here you can see from the time base error, due to this, in this time base error, so when we are measuring the high frequency, we are sending in this time base number of pulses, more pulses, but in case of low frequency we are sending only one pulse. So when we are sending only one pulse, that is plus or minus one pulse, so the measurement error will be more. But in case of high frequency, as we are sending more number of pulses, the measurement error will be less. So the greatest measurement error occurs at the low frequency. So at measurement errors maximum error occurs at the low frequency, that is plus or minus one count. At plus or minus one count we are having 1%. The low frequency error can be greatly reduced by the technique that we are calling it as reciprocal technique. So we are applying the reverse counting techniques, reciprocal technique, uh, that we will see. This is used only at the low frequency, while we are measuring the low frequency only. When we are measuring the high frequency, normal straight method we are using, but at low frequency we are using this reciprocal counting techniques. So in this reciprocal counting, so what we are doing is we are changing the 1 megahertz oscillator signal from the time base, that is directly applied to the AND gate in place of the output from the wave shaping circuits. So what we are doing in this reciprocal counting, we are rearranging the frequency meter such that the 1 megahertz crystal oscillator signal from the time base is applied directly to the AND gate input in place of the output from the wave shaping circuits. So here it will be looking like, so one input is a normal input from the input, that is anyway amplified and applied to the schematic trigger and given to the flip flop, and another input we are getting whatever the wave shaping circuit output is there, we are getting from that only 1 megahertz time base. So that time base, whatever the time base that is generated from the crystal oscillator, that is given directly to the one of the another input of the AND gate. So uh, uh, this AND gate output is anyway given to the counter circuits. So after input, after amplifying, you are getting the sine wave. After wave shaping, so you are getting the square wave, that is anyway uh, differentiated and clipped to produce the train of pulses. So we are applying what we are applying, we are applying the time based signal directly to the one of the input of the AND gate. So now in this method what we are doing, suppose if we are measuring the 100 Hz frequency, that is the low frequency to be measured. The AND gate passes pulses to the counting circuits for a time period of how much, 1 by 100 Hz, so it will be equal to 10 milliseconds. So here what we are using, we are applying the 1 megahertz crystal oscillator time base directly to the one of the input of the AND gate. Suppose we are measuring the low frequency, that is this reciprocal counting method is used only for the low frequency. When we are measuring the low frequency, that is suppose we are taking the 100 hertz frequency to is to be measured. Now the AND gate, what will it will do, as the input frequency is 100 hertz, the gate AND gate passes pulses to the counting circuits for a time period of 1 by 100 hertz. So how much, 10 milliseconds. So the time period of each cycle from the 1 megahertz crystal oscillator is 1 microsecond. So the enabling output of the one of the AND gate, we are applying directly 1 megahertz crystal oscillator, and that time period is 1 microseconds, and we are applying the 100 hertz input frequency. So AND gate passes pulses to the counting circuits for a time of 10 milliseconds. So we have to divide the number of pulses will be equal to this 10 milliseconds by 1 microseconds. So the number of pulses counted during this time period t is will be equal to, so what we are doing, whatever the low frequency is there, that we are converting into time, so that time corresponds to 10 milliseconds, and whatever the 1 megahertz crystal oscillator means, we are getting 1 microsecond time period. So we are dividing this 10 milliseconds with the 1 microseconds, we are getting how much, 10,000. So this display shows that there are 10,000 microseconds. Now the accuracy measurement of the 100 hertz frequency will now plus or minus 1 count in 10,000, plus or minus 1 count in, as compared to plus or minus 1 count in 100, now it is changed to plus or minus 1 count in 10,000. So plus or minus 1 by 10,000 into 100%. Now the percentage of error reduced from 1% to 0.01%. So here what we are doing, we are applying directly one of the output of directly we are applying the time based output to the one of the input of the AND gate, such that we are applying we are applying the whatever the input frequency of 100 hertz, so that is going to the one of the AND gate. So the pulses count the pulse count for the time period of 10 milliseconds, and we will be having the gating time period of 1 microseconds by this crystal control oscillator of 1 megahertz. So the number of pulses counted during this period will be, we are taking that 10 milliseconds by 1 microsecond, so that is 10,000 samples, 10,000 samples. So we will be having the plus or minus 1 count will be like this, plus or minus 1 count in 10,000, 10,000. So plus or minus 1 by 10,000 into 100%. Now the percentage of error is 0.01% as compared to direct measurement of 1%. So in this reciprocal counting method results in a 0.01% error, which is a big improvement over the 1% error that occurs with the straight counting techniques. So in the straight counting techniques, we are getting the 1% error, but in case of reciprocal counting technique, what we are doing, we are applying the input of the crystal control oscillator directly, and we are measuring the frequency with if suppose 100 hertz, it will be equal to 10 milliseconds. So that 10 milliseconds divided by this 1 microseconds you will be having the 10,000 counts. So the error will be now plus or minus 1 counts in 10,000 counts. So plus or minus 1 by 10,000 into 100%. So the percentage of error is 0.01%. As 1%, this one is 0.01%. So it is almost reduced to 100% by using the reciprocal counting method. So 1% error is in direct counting method is reduced to 0.01%, which is a major improvement with this reciprocal counting method. But this method will not applies to the when we are going for a high frequency measurement. That is, if you are going for the 1 megahertz 100 megahertz, we are going for the straight method only. But in case of low frequency measurements, to in order to reduce the percentage of error, we are going for the reciprocal counting method. So the accuracy improvement with the reciprocal counting method is even better at frequencies lower than 100 hertz. So if you are going for lower than 100 hertz, that is 10 hertz, or measuring 1 hertz, or less than 1 hertz, so for measuring the low frequency measurements, this reciprocal counting method will give the percentage of error very much less compared to the straight method. But for high frequency measurements, the straight counting method gives the most accurate results. For high frequency, you have to go for the straight counting method, which will give the most accurate results. For low frequency measurements, that is for less than 100 hertz, we have this reciprocal counting method will give the most accurate result. So in this class we have learned about the for measurement of lowest frequency range. For measurement of lowest frequency range, we have to go for the more number of cycles to be measured, and second one is specifications of accuracy of the digital frequency meter is stated as plus or minus 1 LSD. So this LSD is coming from the partial pulses may or may not pass through the enable of the AND gates. So there is always a possibility scope of plus or minus 1 count. So thus 1 count will be denoted by plus or minus 1 least significant digit. And you will be having the crystal control oscillator also will be which is responsible for the time based error, which is also prone to the errors of that is aging or temperature changes, voltage changes, like that. So you will be having the time based error also. uh, but at high frequencies we are having the time based error more, but total percentage of error is less. But at low frequency, time based error is negligible, and the total error is, corresponds to uh, due to this LSD only, and the error percent is more. So due to reduce the error percent, we are going for the reciprocal counting method. So by using the reciprocal counting method for measuring the low frequencies, we are applying the one of the input of the time base directly to the input of the AND gates. So we can reduce the total percentage of error while measuring the low frequency counts. So the low frequency error can be greatly reduced by the reciprocal counting methods. For high frequency methods, the straight counting method gives the most accurate results. So here is the little quiz. The accuracy of the frequency meter depends on which factors? Range selection, accuracy specification, and reciprocal counting, all the above. So the option is all of the above. So for measuring the lowest possible range, we have to go for the high number of clock cycles to be measured. Accuracy specification is plus or minus 1 LSD plus or minus time based error. Reciprocal counting, we are going for when we are going for the low frequency measurement, we are going for the reciprocal counting. So frequently asked questions are explain the accuracy of the frequency meter. Then you have to explain these three factors with examples. If it is asked for a short question, just you write what is accuracy, and accuracy depends on which factor. So first one is range, and second one is accuracy specifications, and this uh, reciprocal counting method in case of the low frequency measurements. If it is asked for same 3 marks, then you have to explain each one of these three factors. uh, if it is asked for essay question, then you have to explain each of these three methods, that is range specification, and second one is accuracy specifications, and third one is reciprocal counting method with examples also. Then you can get the more number of marks. So thank you for the uh, class. Thank you all.